So I'm living for later, living for later.
Raise your hand if you have ever prayed to the Lord to hear his voice or for him to provide clarity concerning a specific situation. No, really, raise your hand. I will be the first to raise my hand and say I have. I've gone before the Lord before and just pray, oh God, give me clarity. And then he provides clarity, whether it's through his written word, his spoken word, just however. He may, visit me in a dream and give me clarity, and I hear his voice, maybe not audibly, but I receive instructions from him, and I'm certain that it's him speaking. But sometimes when I'm crying out and I'm asking him to give me clarity or for me to hear his voice, I get an answer that I don't really want to do. It's not the response that I want to do, right? So then I'll go back and I'll pray, oh God, let me hear your voice. Give me direction. And what I'm really saying is, I heard your voice, but I don't really want to do what you instructed me to do. So I think that when we go and we pray and we ask the Lord to provide clarity and to give us instructions, the prayer should be coupled with this other prayer. God, when I hear your voice, give me a heart to obey what you're telling me to do, even if it's not the answer that I wanted to hear. So we see over and over again how, God speaks to his people, and if we don't respond in obedience, he's not going to change his mind. And not only is he not going to change his mind, but there are consequences for us not responding to what he tells us to do when we know what he's saying. So we see even in Deuteronomy 28, all the blessings of serving the Lord and obeying him and doing what he tells the children of Israel to do, right? He lines it up for the children of Israel, and he tells them, if you obey me, this, blessing after blessing, if you obey my voice, if you do what I'm telling you to do. But we love to quote that. But the second half of that same Deuteronomy 28 tells us what happens if we choose not to obey the Lord, right? So in the first half of Deuteronomy 28, he lists blessings for the children of Israel if they obey his voice. But the second part, he outlines the consequences of them disobeying his voice. So I just want to encourage you, as we are entering into a new year, 2018 is right around the corner, and many of us are like, okay, yes, it's a fresh start. God, just give me clarity, give me understanding, give me wisdom for this new year. Lead me and guide me. And some of us, I made a similar video at the beginning of 2017 where it's, you know what? Why don't you follow through before you start something new? Follow through on the thing that God told you to do in 2017 that you haven't completed yet before you go and cry out and, tell him to speak to you for this new year. Ask yourself, take inventory. Have you really obeyed after you prayed to hear his voice? Did you obey what he told you to do? If not, go back. He's not going to start afresh. He's not going to change his mind. You have to follow through on what God has told you to do. So my thing that I want to challenge myself with, and I want to challenge you with, is when you pray to hear God's voice, pray to also have a heart to follow through on what he's told you to do. All right, you be blessed.